Everybody, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, that's right. It's time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people. As always, it's featuring the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey, my heterosexual life mate, David,
Hello.
and the ever-loving AJ.
Greetings.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice,
That's
nice,
a good rep.
nice. Right on, right on.
I can do it with both hands.
Ooh, look at you go. Oh.
To comment on your intro, a podcast would be a weird idea.
A podcast. It would be. What
It
are
would
you
be
doing?
Kind of counterproductive, wouldn't it?
Is this a freeze frame? Is supposed to use a freeze frame?
Oh, we can bring that back.
We could do that
Sold.
for sure, like that. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about today.
No, we're not talking about
No, no.
podcasts.
We talk a lot. If you pay attention to a show, thank you very much. We appreciate you watching. But we talk a lot about
listening.
sci-fi or listening. Yeah, however you intake your podcast, we appreciate it. We talk a lot about sci-fi. We're big fans of science fiction, Star Wars. We did a whole series on that. Star Trek versus Star Wars, and a whole bunch of other sci-fi elements throughout the show. Today, we are going to talk about actual sci-fi, like real life sci-fi.
So just sci?
Just sci. Just sci.
Just
Yes,
sci? We're gonna talk
exactly.
about
You got it.
sci?
Just sci.
Without the five?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about our own history with space and our
I've
fascination
been
with
there
it.
many times.
Me too, man.
Quite
Me
that.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. You get the herbs, you go to space,
Been
right?
there- No, I've actually been. I've been to space.
Oh, but jumping up in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
I've had some space.
Yeah, some space. I need some. I need more space between my ears. That's what I need. But just talking, I just wanted to talk about today, just our history with space travel and just kind of where we're going, because I am thoroughly fascinated with the fact that we are quickly taking what we call science fiction and turning it into nonfiction.
Science, nonfiction.
Yeah, science nonfiction. Yeah.
Science
Like,
reality.
it
I don't know
started.
if I call it quickly, but it's been good.
Okay. Well, the basis I chose, and I know you guys did not pay attention, was the new documentary called Countdown Inspiration 4, which is about it's a Netflix documentary. We'll link it in the description if you haven't watched it yet.
Thank
where where it chronicles. There we go. Chronicles the mission team of the first civilians that made it to space.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Is that the one through which program?
SpaceX.
SpaceX.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So
because
e-
SpaceX is the one that they want to do the long haul.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
we're gonna get into all that. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
And SpaceX is AKA Elon Musk.
Yeah. That's fine.
Well, whatever, fine.
Yeah. It's one of those things, and I might get in trouble for saying this because Elon Musk is an interesting fellow
Sure is.
who has a couple of dollars. But at the very least, hey, he's putting a couple of bucks into this type of thing.
Absolutely. And well, yeah. And his philosophy is, because a lot of people say it's like, well, it costs billions of dollars to send rockets into space. That's just the reality. And
Well,
he's
it's
like,
not necessarily billions, but we'll talk about
well,
this.
sure. But he's like, a lot of people say to him, spending this kind of money on space travel, why aren't you spending it on the problems that we have on Earth already? And his philosophy is, well, we kind of divert 99% of our resources and finances to problems on Earth. Why can't we donate 1% to space travel? And that's kind of where his mentality's at. And he's got a bit of a point.
Interesting. Well, I just more argue. Well, I guess it is argue if I went down that path, though. If I was Elon Musk with that amount of money, and it's easy for me to say this, but Elon, feel free to share half for me to demo it.
For sure, yeah.
I would actually put in a couple more.
I would agree, but I'm just saying that there are people out there that have these disciplines, and I get it.
Yeah, that is fair. But
I get both sides for sure. But I've been so intrigued with space travel that I'm like you. Let's give them more money. Let's figure this out. So if you think about the history of space travel, we spent a bunch of time in the 50s sending some things into. No, it's 60s. Sorry, it was 60s.
Yeah, 50, 60.
Yeah.
It was right after World War II. They were actually doing stuff. The Germans were doing things during the war and a little bit before.
And the Russians too. I think we're doing some.
The
The Russians came into it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
right,
and
right.
they kind of jumped ahead of everybody,
Did they ever?
they sent the first man and woman into orbit.
Yep. Yep.
I believe it was.
Who sent
Yeah.
the monkey? I can't remember who sent the monkey.
I think that was them as
I think that
well.
was the-
Yeah.
And they also
Yeah.
sent a dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
they were the first one to send anything living, is my
Yeah.
understanding.
I think so.
memory.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So you think about the history of that time. No, we didn't know any. We don't know any of the stuff we have now, and here we are trying to figure out a way to send things to space. One of the interesting things that interesting tidbits that I learned was from the first time we went to space till we went to the moon was like only an 8-year gap.
Yeah, I guess that would sounds about rightish. Yeah.
And you think about it, that's fast for that time period.
So I'm laughing because the reason, and we all know why it was fast.
The space race. Yeah.
Yes, it was the
That's right.
space race between the
Yeah.
Russians and the Americans.
Absolutely.
And the Yankees were able to get ahead.
Imagine if they had the technology today and they were still doing that. I mean, I'm sure. We'd all.
Well, I
be
think
able-
at
we'd
this
all be able to
point
move
it's
by now.
been the States. I think Russia's even sent people to the moon, and
Yeah.
China. I
And
think
China
that's the
has.
only 3.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think those are the 3 countries.
Yeah. There's been other countries send people to space, I believe, but those are the 3 that are really spacey.
Right.
Yeah, I guess they'd be
Israel
the
was the
ones
other
who've
one.
landed
Yeah,
on something in space as opposed to just orbiting.
And-
Or,
yeah.
And eat some moon cheese.
Because I think Israel is the only other one that's done anything spacey.
I think so. I think you're right.
Not with Kevin Spacey. We won't talk about
No,
him
no, no,
anymore.
no.
We
No,
can't talk
no,
about
we
him.
can't talk
No,
about him.
We can't talk about
Shit.
him. That's the wrong kind of space. So then the moon landing, and then from there, it's been a lot of testing and experimenting, and then we built the ISS, the International Space Station.
There was the mirror.
and the Mir,
Before.
and that's pretty cool. Like you think about the International Space Station, like we literally got space station orbiting Earth right now.
Yeah.
And that's the new one.
That's the new one.
Yeah,
Yes.
because the
Yeah.
other one they actually let crash. I was like,
Right.
can we see this thing? But
Right.
No.
Yeah, that was the mirror, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the Mir.
yeah, the
I think it was
original
the Mir.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ISS is still up there, so I think it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the original
ISIS
ones.
is up there?
No, I hope not.
Wait a
I'm
second.
like, holy jeez, did they?
Hold on.
Oh, you very-
How'd they get up there?
They're everywhere.
They sneaked on the ship.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
shit.
Always. Anyway.
Oh.
And then you think about it, that's kind of cool. Like aside from the satellites and all that other stuff, the fact that we got like people hanging out on the
Yeah.
space station
Right?
as their job.
That is pretty cool. But you skipped over the rough part.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can touch
yeah.
about the rough
I
part.
think it was what? Challenger was the 80s one?
Challenger was the 80s one.
Oh.
Yeah, and I can always remember because it was that I never like it probably happened before this. It must have. It was always the stupid TV show I remember learning about the space accident on.
Oh
Hang on, I wrote down the name because I knew I was going to struggle with it when I got here. Please hold as I quickly look it up. Boop 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 boop. Oh,
wrong.
no, I can't
I
find
think-
it in my notes.
Uh-oh.
Punky Brewster.
Oh, Punky
Punky-
Brewster.
Punky the Brewster.
Yes,
Damn.
that's where I learned about this, and I got upset by it for some silly reason. Went to talk to my dad, and again, it's a parent thing because I'm sure from his perspective, it's a different recollection. My recollection is him getting frustrated. Going, yeah, that happened like a year ago.
Wow. Wow.
crazy.
Crew of 7 people died.
yeah,
Yeah, it happened a year ago now.
yeah. What are you talking about? Why are you whining
For
about this
sure.
now?
Well, the unfortunate, if you don't know what Dave's talking about, the
Yeah.
Challenger was a rocket of 7 crew members that unfortunately coming down, right?
No,
No,
going
it
up.
was going
That
up.
one was
Going
going
up.
up.
Yeah.
It was
Going
the next
up.
one.
Unfortunately, they didn't make it. There was a malfunction, and everybody
Yeah.
perished, which is sucky.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part about these experiments is it's a lot of trial and error. We just don't know, and these are
Mhm.
giant ass rockets that we're trying to
Well,
control.
the thing I will give some credit though, even back in those days, and the same as now, I get the impression
yeah,
that there is actually a lot of attempts to make sure it is safe in
yeah,
nature.
of course.
And again, it's the normal human thing, It's a
Right.
little easier or whatever it is to say that. Where I actually don't know if there was anything known ahead of time on that one, but I believe for the second one there was a kind of a known thing. They knew they damaged something, but
Yeah.
they didn't realize how bad it was
Yeah.
until they went to come in.
And that one was what was the name of that one?
Columbia?
Yes, Columbia. Thank you. Yes, it was Columbia. And that
Yeah.
was later in the 90s.
No, that was 2000,
2000,
early
that's what-
2000.
oh, 2000.
Yeah.
Where they had a successful launch.
Yeah.
And they had a great mission. Everything worked well. And then on their descent, like
Yeah.
you said, there was something that was wrong. Mission control lost communication with them.
Yeah.
So we'll figure
Well,
it
they
out.
disintegrated. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
I think they somewhat knew because apparently during the takeoff, is that what you call it? The launch? I
yeah,
guess the launch is
the
the
launch
launch.
would be the way.
There we go.
They're
I
taking
got
off.
there. During the launch, there apparently was something detected where a piece of something hit something, and they
Yeah.
thought it was maybe just minor damage, but it ended up being the actual atmosphere protector thing
Okay.
was
yeah,
truly
yeah.
damaged, and that's
Okay.
what caused it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
Was that
unfortunate.
one of the last times they flew the space shuttle?
It wasn't the last, but it
'Cause
was.
I know they
the
don't. The
third
space shuttle
yeah,
has
it's
been
done.
retired.
Yeah, it is retired now.
It's been retired.
Yeah, I think there was 2 more after that, but I'm going from a rough kind of bad memory.
Yeah, I think Dave's right.
But why?
Why was there 2 more?
Why was it retired?
My understanding is the actual style, structure, and everything was high maintenance and risk of accident. Whereas the new style, and again, you look at a lot of these things, the space programs now. There's the SpaceX, and the other one is
would be Enterprise.
Is
You're
that,
talking
is that Jeff Bezos?
X Enterprise? No, X
no.
Enterprise is it's Richard Branson's Virgin.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's the one that doesn't go into space. It's the one that goes to the atmosphere for 10 minutes. Either way, that one, look at the history of the rockets. Their penises.
Dude, Jeff
I know.
Bezos' rocket actually looks like the one in Austin Powers.
Oh, sure.
Like it looks like a balls and ding dong.
For sure. Yeah. They talked about Dr. Evil's
Blue Origin. That's the
Blue
name.
Origin.
Yeah. Either way, theirs. Yeah.
I thought
It's
you were
just-
gonna say. I was gonna say his rocket looks like a penis, but so does Jeff Bezos. So it kind of
That's true. That's true.
it kind of fit. Really,
That's true.
don't sue us. I want to still buy it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Your Prime subscription is canceled by the time you
Yeah,
go.
for sure. But you know what? Okay, let's talk about that for a second. That's very good. Those are very good valid
Penises?
points.
Okay, sure.
penises. Yeah, space penises.
Space dicks.
Space dicks. That's our next show. Is space dicks.
Space dicks.
Hasn't that already been done?
I
There's
want
space
that-
dicks and
I want
something?
that to be a show.
I want that
No,
to be a show.
but I want
too.
it to be a show about space detectives.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Space dicks.
Space dick. You got your hard broiled one, and then the,
Wow.
Yeah, see?
yeah, and then you got the like
Yeah.
comedic alien one. You know,
Yeah, space dicks.
space dicks. Yeah, Chris. And the alien one's gonna look like a dick, obviously.
Yeah, of
For
course.
sure.
Somewhat.
He's gonna have to. Yeah, not completely.
Not
play.
play, like,
You throw him off the audience, right?
It's not going to be like a dick alien.
There's no such thing as dick aliens. That's not a real thing.
Not a thing.
Crazy. But, all right. So all that stuff we talked about was all government funded, right? Everything that had done up until recently has been
About the last 10 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, up
SpaceX
until, right?
and the bluey thing. Yeah.
fast forward to the last 10 years, and now we've got the nerds of the world inheriting the earth, and they all got lots of money, and they all want to go to space.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have two very different planes of philosophy. On the Bezos side, and maybe the Branson side, I don't know if I want to say that, but maybe. It's about rich billionaires going to space. That's what they're doing. That's, they're going to hang out there. All right, cool. And that's what Bezos recently just did. What?
No, finish. Because I don't know. Am I allowed to interject yet?
Oh, you're more welcome.
Oh,
well,
well,
let me
in
just
that
finish my
case,
point.
Shut up.
Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
No, the only thing I would throw out though is because of them wanting that
Mhm.
and having the capacity and money to do that,
Mhm.
they are also making it possible for others to do.
I would agree 1,000%.
Yeah, like it is that sharing.
Yep.
NASA stickers there. They work. They go to the stations as some of the plans, I believe, as well.
Right.
So don't get me wrong. They're doing it because they got the money to do it, but they're also doing it because they got the money because the government, because of people in the government, don't want to pay the extra money. It's like what are we doing in Canada? I don't think we're doing anything.
No, we
Do we even have a space program?
My no, we don't.
I know
We
we
don't
made the
anymore.
arm,
did make the arm, Canada arm.
Yeah.
but do
That-
we,
that
we
one
don't
time.
We have
like-
astronauts that go to space. That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, we
But
do
when
have
was
that.
the last time a Canadian went to space?
What's his face?
Chris Hadfield.
Chris Hadfield.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah,
You know,
did
the whole
ground
stuff.
control and
You're
yeah,
right.
he did
Yeah.
panel.
Damn it.
He recorded a whole album.
I shouldn't say damn it. I forgot how much I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was really great actually. I love him.
Canadians should go to space more.
We should go to space more.
He was very public with what was happening. Right?
Yeah,
like he
showing
Yeah.
everything.
teaching us
Yeah.
about how it is up there on the
Which is really
space
awesome
station.
that he did that.
Yeah, that was good.
It's neat.
Okay, so sorry.
Continue.
Yeah. We have the Jeff Bezos side where it does feel like it's millionaires or billionaires going to space. Okay. Then you have the other side, SpaceX, which their whole goal was to send like literally anybody, any civilian to
Well,
space.
SpaceX is the expensive one, though. You can go on the now. The
I
other
could
one's
be
only
right.
the 10 minutes into space or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But you're only paying like $250,000 for that.
Only $250,000.
Only a
It'll
quarter.
get reduced
It's-
soon. Sure.
it's gonna turn out to be like the Concorde.
Flight
Right.
of Concords.
Good idea. Yeah. Good idea. Right.
Yeah.
You have a supersonic jet that can go from like New York to London in
10
a
minutes.
fraction of the time.
Not 10 minutes.
But it costs too much to do it. Like the average
Very
Joe
fair.
airfare was like, thousands and thousands of dollars.
Ridiculous, yeah.
And that's why they retired that program.
Yeah.
For sure.
No,
Right?
that is a
So
valid.
I feel like it,
Yeah.
the Jeff Bezos and the what's his name, Richard Branson. It's for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody's, you'll probably have a few millionaire type people that'll be like, yeah, I'll give you a couple $100,000 to go up there, but that won't last.
No, that won't last.
I hope it lasts though. Like, and sorry if I'm
It's
cutting you
alright.
off.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
again. It's just I have to be like, I kind of hope it lasts because I also have this wonderful thought. It won't happen likely in my lifetime, our lifetimes, but that idea, like a car, yes, a little bit different in pricing, but a car where today it's $300,000, but hey, sometime tomorrow it'll be 30,000.
Yeah.
A couple of days after that,
I'm confident that's going to happen.
it'll be 3,000.
I'm confident it's going to happen because of this mission of Inspiration 4. Because how they did it, and I'm not going to tell you how they selected, but it was one guy who is a self-made billionaire. Not that it necessarily was his money going into the project, but he's also a pilot, and he does all this daredevil awesome things that we see in movies. He got involved in the project early, but then they had a lottery. They picked somebody based off their charity that they're running, and then this person would just seem to be the perfect candidate for what they want to represent. Another person literally donated and was a random recipient from his donation to be a part of the program or the mission. And then the fourth person applied and was the best candidate based off her love of space and her history with, I guess her dad helped with the Apollo missions.
Oh,
which is cool. And yeah, she's a doctor and she's got like all these other credentials, whatever. So these 4 civilians were picked to go, and they were trained to go within like a 5.5 month period.
Nice.
Yeah, that is really nice.
wow.
Successful 3-day orbiting the Earth.
That'd be so cool.
That I can't.
I would do it.
Like that. I could die after that.
Yeah.
I could.
I don't know if I go quite that
Well,
far.
I have to tell some people I did it, but then after that,
I don't know if that'd be far enough in space for me.
I
I
want more.
I want to go to the moon.
I do too, but like, I'd be just happy to go into orbit or go out of orbit. I would love that. I can't even imagine how good that would
You
feel.
don't want to go out of
I don't-
orbit.
And
Sorry,
then you
in
have to
orbit.
prove that the Earth is a cube.
That's right. Exactly. Tell everybody that. Well, that's the other thing I was thinking watching this documentary. It's like, I don't think because a lot of people will say that the moon landing was a conspiracy and all this sort of shit. Who knows if it was? I don't know. I want to believe it wasn't, but
Yeah.
By this point, I don't believe it is.
yeah.
but-
But the thing is, they documented this whole mission. Like, it'd be really like, I don't know how you could doctor this. Like, I don't know how you could fake
by
this.
this point,
I don't know. It's impossible. Like, people were saying,
Nothing's
like, oh, it's a
impossible,
conspiracy
but-
when they're doing tests.
Well,
and-
have you seen Transformers, the movie?
I have.
The real robots,
It's
right?
real
They're,
robots.
they're real robots.
That's true. That's true. CGI has advanced a lot. Now
Yeah.
you're making me think of that movie Wag the Dog. You know?
oh, that was a classic, wasn't it?
So now
Shit.
instead of it being just, subterfuging wars, it's now subterfuging space travel.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, don't go to this country because they got whatever. Hilarious. I want to see that movie now. I'm gonna watch it tonight, I think.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've
Great
seen
film.
it. Shit.
Great film. Anyways, and that's crazy because 4 people who aren't rich, well, one of them is, and could afford to go. 3 people who aren't rich, regular Joes, if you will,
Right.
have now been able to go to space and do what before was thought of as impossible outside of NASA. Or-
Yes. Well, outside of the large space programs. Yes,
right,
yes.
exactly.
Fair.
And that gives the idea that, you know what? Yeah, fuck, one day we could go to space. And I'm with you, dude. I want to go to the moon. And I want to go to Mars. I hope to God there's a chance of that in my life. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, no.
But I love the idea that we're already thinking like this. We're already like because that's the next step. Like the Holy Grail was to figure out how do we make reusable rockets, because those things cost ridiculous amounts of money.
Right.
Elon Musk figured it out.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's what I think is cool.
Mostly
about the whole
figurative.
space
They've
element.
had the odd.
Yeah, the odd thing. But hey, listen,
They're learning.
listen.
We got to learn.
In our history, that's a far more progress
Fair,
than
fair.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Right? And like that to me is like, what? Like nobody can figure this out before this guy. And then does he figure it out?
My big thing I would love to see, space elevators. That's what I want to see.
Yes.
Fuck is a space elevator?
Oh,
It literally
Explain it to 'em.
is an elevator that goes to space. Apparently, it is something that is
What?
feasible.
Mhm.
I cannot explain the actual scientific aspects to it, but the understanding basically is in our upper atmosphere, basically the same thing that that we are doing for the 10-minute travel. We have an elevator, and you literally climb in this elevator, and it somehow zips you up, and then it comes you down.
And the idea is, I remember reading about this long
Somehow,
time
like,
ago.
I
which-
can't
which
remember the
craft?
power source.
No, basically I don't know the full extent of it, but the whatever canopy or spot
There's a
it's in,
thing, and
it's in orbit, so that way
and
there or it's outside
magic
of orbit.
happens, and you push it back down, and you pull it up.
Yeah, and before this whole
and solar panels.
commercial space flight was happening, they were planning on building these elevator things to like the ISS, so you could like just elevate
Yeah,
up
yeah.
to there. And then the idea was, well, why don't we just have corporate sponsors plaster the ISS and we'll just turn it into a shopping mall? Like, no, that's not what you want to
I
do.
forgot about
Yeah,
that.
that's-
Shit.
I feel like your insides would become liquefied if you were just standing in a box going up.
That's like scuba diving. You just have to make sure
Yeah.
you prep for it appropriately.
Exactly. Yeah, you go
I-
through all the things.
There
you go
are
through.
things about it, but apparent I do recall, and again, this is my recollection based on my perspective, that it was something that is feasible. It's just the doing, the expenses, who's going
It
to
is,
take it
yeah.
on. You know, it's now this
But
central point.
I
and
can remember. Correct me if I'm wrong.
you're
the
wrong.
Price point for that was incredibly expensive, but because of the way it was designed, they had a much faster rate of the price going down for such things.
I truly don't remember. I just remember it being the space elevator.
Yeah. I think it's a cool concept. It's a neat idea.
I'd get on it.
Yeah, sure.
Go on the space ladder.
Space ladder to
They'd
heaven.
have to, they'd
It
have
is
to
one of
build
those-
the space ladder first.
Well, I'm
Well,
just
yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
can you imagine the space elevator and it gets stuck?
Man, no,
Man.
no,
No.
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 And not like stuck at the
Yeah.
top or stuck at the bottom.
Like
Those are
stuck in the
easy.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And not just middle that can be reached through some sort of magical helicopter, you know, higher than that.
Yeah. And you got one of those assholes that starts jumping. Like, stop jumping! What are you doing? You're gonna get us all killed. Space
That's
elevators.
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yep.
crazy.
Space elevators.
I wonder if that program's still in existence because I was very intrigued by that.
My understanding is it's still one of those things that a lot of people talk about, but it's the money, the effort, all
Yeah.
those things. Whereas at least with a, and again, I'm kind of making assumptions again, but you know, when you're talking about taking a rocket to space, it's kind of a one-time, still a design, but it has it's a lower cost. I know.
I know it is. Well, it's only because we have experience with rockets.
Right, because I think to even get this space elevator out there somehow, you'd have to rocket
We
it
need a
up and all these.
UFO technology.
When they come back,
Yeah.
I am hoping to see this. I am
yeah.
of the mind that they dropped us off. They had sex with some elephants, and that's how we got started.
So
Oh, see, I always thought we were like some alien kids science project, and then we were just like
Ooh,
thrown in the
nice.
corner.
that's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
where we're still at.
Maybe that's where it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
we developed.
But that what's his name? Bob Lazar or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He
Alien.
worked close to or worked with like weird like alien technology engine hover. I don't know how they work.
Oh,
They're
alien
Well, you're not an
stuff.
alien.
But yeah, they could use that
No,
for the
sure.
space elevator.
Yeah,
Sure.
But
Yeah.
now,
Let's
but
just
now that
access it.
alien information has been released by the Pentagon,
I know, like the Pentagon's the fucking ultimate authority on that.
Pentagon,
I know. Go on. Fucking Pentagon. Go on.
Pentagon. But yeah, now that apparently aliens are real.
What? I don't think you say that. To say they have no explanation for the shit that they've released.
No,
Go on.
apparently they're real.
Okay.
That's what Donald Trump said.
So I'm going to ignore the Donald Trump for a moment.
For sure.
I would be more surprised if in this entire lovely universe, we are the most intelligent.
Oh God,
I would
no.
agree.
Yeah,
I
We
would
cannot
be very
we
surprised.
cannot be.
I would also be very surprised if we are the only species in existence in this universe.
Well, the same thing.
yeah,
kind
like,
of the same
Maybe
thing.
that's what they're using that new space telescope for. The James
Ah.
Webb telescope, I think it's called.
okay.
And it works different. We were talking about it.
Yeah, we
earlier.
were.
It works different than
We'll
Hubble.
pretend we didn't.
It's not like a big, huge camera thing.
Okay.
It's not a telescope, but it's all mirrors, and it's gonna look at infrared lights or like spectrum of light that the Hubble telescope can't look in.
Okay.
Right.
And then
Oh,
they're gonna
cool.
like colorize it and stuff like that. And they're gonna be able to see further and through like
Nice.
what they want to see through is the big clouds of gas that are out there that the Hubble takes pictures of, and it's just this like big purple, pretty.
Oh, I have a.
So they're going to be able to see through this stuff,
Okay.
see past it, and hopefully to the edge of a galaxy or something like that, or new galaxies or
Nice.
new
Nice.
solar systems.
Hey, plus one.
Nice. I'm down for
So who knows? Maybe they will find some other form of existence.
What I always found funny about those things is, and it's like, and I actually had a conversation similar to this more about sunsets, but whenever they use pictures, I'm like, oh, those are nice. And of course, anybody that's actually gotten to see it in space, those few people, they'd probably be like, dude, I could never explain it. And,
Yeah.
it's like seeing a sunset in person.
that. Right.
You take a picture of it.
Looks like shit.
Well, it's
It doesn't look like shit. It's just a
You
picture of a sunset.
remember it.
Yeah.
but you show it, I showed it to you, you're like, great,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Nothing. Or, you're out in the country, there's no lights around, and you can actually see the stars.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Mhm.
And it's like one of those things of, I could take a picture of that. I can explain that. And unless somebody else has actually experienced it, okay, Dave, that's great.
I would agree. Like I see pictures of the globe all the time.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
From space. I can only imagine to see that with my own eyes would
Yeah.
you can't change that experience.
No,
That's
you
something.
Yeah, you can't capture the
And-
actual experience in a photo.
And you think
No.
about it, there's only been less than 600 people in the history of humans that have seen that picture with their own eyes.
Is it really that high? I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised about the 600, I have to admit.
Mm.
If you'd done a over-under, I would have picked under. I have to admit.
Slightly under. I think it's like 5.
Well, you know what I mean
65,
by
something.
under.
Yeah, something like
But
that.
I still would have won the over-under.
Like in
then.
whatever,
between
yeah.
people like going to the moon and
Yeah.
living on the ISS and shit like that.
Yeah,
Only-
it's-
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit,
Oh.
yeah. I didn't.
Is that
yeah.
including the people that have recently
I
gone?
believe it is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that is
That's
impressive.
not a lot of
But-
people.
No.
Well, considering we have 7 billion people almost now.
Did you hear about this? Did you know about this? William Shatner's going to space.
No.
Yes, he
That
is.
just makes fucking sense.
Right?
What is he going? What's happening? What?
He's going on that 10-minute one we were
Oh,
chatting
okay,
about.
okay.
Still in space. He'll be
Still pretty
floating.
cool.
He'll be in space.
Yeah,
Is he
yeah.
commanding the ship? Because he should be commanding the ship.
I don't.
They should get him like
Yeah.
They should bring up the original
Absolutely.
Enterprise chair.
For sure.
More what I want them. I just want him to wear just something
Oh,
that
yeah,
looks
yeah.
Agreed.
Star Trek.
Agreed.
Like, that's
Yeah.
all you need to do. It doesn't have to be full Star Trek.
Just-
Don't go overboard.
Just a vest.
Just something.
A
Vest,
phaser.
something, yeah.
Looking at the phaser.
Hopefully, yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, that
Just in
makes me
case the
happy.
aliens
That
come.
makes me happy. I'm glad that
Yeah, he's doing that 10-minute one I was chatting about. That's the 250 or whatever, and it's just one of those. When I heard about that, I was like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
on page with this.
Yeah.
Frick yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of, quick side note, I heard that they're developing one of his properties called Tech Wars. Remember Tech Wars? Back
I
in the day?
remember that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't they do a TV show?
They
They
did.
did.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I probably wasn't, but in my mind,
My
it was great.
memory of
Probably
it.
wasn't.
Yeah,
my
probably.
memory is that it was good.
Apparently
I've
they
read
are-
3 of the books.
Yep.
It's good. I do recommend at least reading one.
Yeah, I read the first one,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's good. But it's definitely very teen fiction esque
Well,
back in the day.
it's it is teen fiction-y, but also, and I'm not knocking you, Shatner, but feel free to call him Chat if you so wish. The first couple, it's him just writing a book but then after it just,
Yeah, it falls off a bit.
yeah, I don't know, it just,
I agree. The show kind of did the same thing. It didn't last long, but you could kind of get the feeling like it's
I have to
better
admit, I
than
don't
it was
remember
before.
much of the show other than I remember the show being
For
in
sure.
existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I definitely watched that show. So, anyways, I'm very happy that they're doing some sort of reboot of Tech Wars and.
I heard
Mr.
they're also doing a reboot of Babylon 5.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, Babylon 6.
It's another one of those, don't touch it. Why?
I know.
Like,
Well, yeah,
You can't make it better.
I agree.
Like,
Well,
okay, you can do effects, you can do a whole bunch of shit where you're watching this whole episode and you realize at the end of it, oh, none of those people were actually there or alive or in the
know.
same room.
apparently all of B5's cast has moved on in life. They've passed. So there's not a lot of people that are going to be able to make the return back. But the fact is, J. Michael
Really?
Straczynski, the J. Michael Straczynski who created it is also a very famous comic book writer and such. He is heavily involved. He's writing it again. So I have some faith that it might be good. But I am now looking. I'm on the hunt for the Babylon 5 remasters that they did a few years ago. Apparently, they redid it in a very special format, so it doesn't even look like it was done however long ago it was done.
Really?
I never watched that.
Oh, fuck. It's honestly the best.
Nor
sci-fi
did I
show.
do Battlestar Galactica.
I was not a Battlestar guy
No.
myself, but Babylon 5, my father and I, he's huge
Yeah.
into it. But yeah, back in the day, I remember I'd come over every other weekend and him and I would watch 2 episodes. He'd already seen them, but I would watch on the VHS recording.
the
Fuck it out.
VHS?
Going back a little while.
Yeah, I'll say it. Yeah, I love B5, and
Yeah.
I'd like to go back and do a redo of that show because it was phenomenal. For like as much as I love Star Trek, there's unfortunately I've been watching Voyager with a couple of friends recently, and there are gaps. It's not a perfect show. None of the Star Treks, unfortunately, were perfect shows.
Oh, no.
B5,
The original
very
was a
close to
perfect
perfect.
Oh, the original.
The
no,
original
no.
was a perfect show. Yes, it was.
No,
It was
I'm
perfect.
afraid
Perfect
not.
for
No,
what?
no.
Perfect.
For me,
It was just
perfect.
perfect.
No, for me
It was
was
perfect.
Next Generation.
Yeah,
And about the last 4 seasons.
we're amazing.
Yeah, like those were just
Yes,
so
awesome.
good,
Absolutely,
so perfect. And
Like,
everybody-
I don't
it
know if
was-
there's a bad episode in those 4 seasons.
I'm definitely not from my.
I don't think so.
Anybody that thinks there's a bad episode there probably is a horrible person.
Terrible people.
Terrible people. But I think B5 in terms of sci-fi might be like a perfect show. There's like no gaps in it at all.
No.
It was written
It
that
has
way.
been a long time since I've actually seen an episode. I must admit this for the Babylon.
I kind of started delving in, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait until I can get the high def version.
You've kind of sold me a little bit on when I wanted to see the.
All right, well, when I get
As
them-
long as so,
I'll,
it's not a remake, is it? Or is it like a continuation?
No, I don't know. I don't know where they're going. It's
Ah,
still
fair,
fresh.
fair.
It's still fresh.
Fair,
So
fair, fair.
It'd probably be like one of those remake / reboot.
Just so we're on the
things.
same page, though, I'm going to blame you.
Okay, yeah, blame me. Yeah.
So
For
is
sure.
it like Star Trek but different?
It's different.
So it's different. So basically, B5 starts, and then Star Trek DS9 starts, and everyone thinks like they're the same show. Like, no, they're completely different shows in every way. But because they both feature a space station, Babylon
Yeah.
5,
Oh,
DS9.
it's a space station show.
Yeah.
No, I'm out.
Shut up, man! You don't even know.
I'm out. Deep Space Nine was balls. I'm out. Space stations. I want to see people flying around the galaxy.
You want to
doing
watch
stuff.
B5? Honestly, it has
Oh, but I don't want to see no space. I don't want to see. I don't want to see where people go to get gas. It's
Kinda
a
right,
space
actually.
gas station.
Space hotel. Like, oh,
No.
everyone's
A
sleeping.
space truck stop. That's essentially what this place is. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, it's funny when you describe it like that. It always reminds me of I can't remember Space Quest. I think it was number 4. Roger Wilco has to go and work in the patty shop in the space station. And Space Quest, I believe it was 4. That's my
That's
memory.
amazing. That's
I know.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
hilarious, yeah. Yeah, you're missing out if you won't watch B5.
I
but
would have
whatever,
Space
it's fine.
Quest 4. Shit.
It's a good show. It's a good show. Anyways,
But that's science fiction.
for now.
That's true. We got totally.
We're talking about science fact.
Right. So let's talk about science
no.
fact.
That is the science fact that we have foreseen.
For sure. For sure.
No.
That's it.
No.
Well, let's talk about that. So now we are getting into this point where we are capable of commercial spaceflight, meaning anybody will have the opportunity to go to space shortly. It's happening. It's in the
Anybody
works.
with enough monies
Yeah,
know,
of
that's
course,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Which I guess
and
is
then that's
fair.
what's going to make it
But eventually,
disappear.
disappear.
Yeah.
Like the Concorde.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
there's more
I
people that want to go to
somewhat-
space
This is where we
that
started,
want
by
to
the
travel.
way.
It is. We
that
gotta
want
come
to
back
travel
around.
on a Concorde.
We need to fight about it.
I think there's enough people out there that want to go to space that they will
No.
figure out a way to afford it.
No. Not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not $5,000. Not $10,000.
I think, from my perspective,
Yeah, $10,000.
I would totally do
Oh
that for
fuck yeah!
$10,000.
$100,000. I would try to figure out that money. I'm not kidding. I would try to figure out how to raise $100,000.
If somebody walked in here right now and they were like, "You could go to space, and you could go to space, and you for $100,000," I'd be like, "No,
No, I
definitely
think
say
what's
no.
more, and this is stealing ideas from movies, and there is actually a specific one that's popped in my brain that, of course, I cannot think of the name of it, where, no, it'll become to your point, rich people going out, okay, they've done it, and then it'll be, hey, you can actually stay at the space station.
Right.
And now it's more hotelish. And then it
Yep.
becomes a special place that only rich people can go to.
Right.
And it's all, and then, of course, the day will come that pollution and things like that get worse on Earth. So rich
Elysium.
people- That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna
Like,
happen.
I'm stealing this whole thing from
I
a
was gonna
movie.
say we're talking about science fiction again.
No, we're not.
But he's
It-
talking about the reality of where it could possibly go.
That people with the proper means will actually look at space as the potential way of getting away.
Absolutely.
But it
Again,
is
the people
potential.
who have means, the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yes, and so the
Yeah.
hundreds of people
So
will make it to
It's
space.
like space rapture.
Actually, yes.
It's like, it's a movie.
Like
that.
space rapture.
Yeah.
These fuckers get to stay here, fucking choked on smog, and we're going up in this here spaceship eating shrimpies and
Yeah, yeah,
caviars
that's right,
and
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
It
drinking.
could very well go that way.
And they're
champagne.
gonna sit in little things that float them around the ship, and they'll get really, really big and fall
And they'll
out
turn into
periodically.
Wall-E.
Yeah, it's a Wall-E, exactly. That's where we're headed ultimately anyway.
We all know
Garbage
this.
robots.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But you do make actually a very valid point. Every time we start to talk, we
We do
we
sci-fi.
go sci-fi.
We love sci-fi. Right? But the fact that it's like Mars is going to be colonized someday, that's like in the plans. It's
Is
in the
it,
works.
though?
Yeah, it
Is
is.
it, though?
We might not be alive for it, but I think it'll happen.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Where do you get your water?
You know what? I'll make you a deal. If by
Is
the
it, though?
time,
This guy is so
if we
skeptical.
don't do it before humanity ends, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah, there you go. That's
we'll,
fair.
we'll be dead.
Think of how good that beer will taste in your dead body.
We'll be able to do. Do ghosts even have taste buds?
I know, but
That's another.
Yeah, that's another
Do
podcast.
ghosts taste? I want to know.
I'll ask my buddy when he got home.
Random questions. Yeah, for sure. I think we will colonize Mars. I'm confident of it.
I don't know about, and again, I wouldn't speak to a specific planet, but I want, yes, that we're going to now start to expand and get out there. And what do I think? Oh, that's going to happen in 100 years, 1,000 years. I don't flying know, but
yeah,
I do think it will happen.
yeah.
Why? Well, A, I want, even though I won't be around to enjoy, but also B, this is what I love about humanity. There were probably a few people sitting around 2,000 years ago talking about, what, you want to try and see or go across the ocean? Like, you're dumb.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
for sure.
I guess it was a little more than 2,000. No, less than 2,000. 500.
Yeah, yeah. Or
600.
even back when go even 90 years ago when cars were coming out. Like, I can't fucking afford a car. I got to stay with my horse.
Why are we so interested about space travel when there's so much water to explore on Earth?
I think the reason why is because space is always around. Like we always see the sky. Like, so there's always an urge to figure out, like, we can't attain it. We have no idea what's up there. But that curiosity is always eating at us.
There's only been like 13% of the world's oceans that have been explored.
It's true.
Going down and looking.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean we can't still explore those oceans just because we're exploring space, right? Do
Well,
both.
You gotta spend the money.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
they
We're
they only
gonna-
get
we're
like
I think James Cameron's heading up the ocean funds. I think that's
No, just the Titanic one.
Oh, okay.
He's Titanic only.
Just the one ocean.
Yeah.
Okay.
half.
But I think there's no reason why we can say we can't do both. I'd love to if Atlantis was a real thing. I would love for that to be discovered. That'd be fucking amazing.
Oh, gotcha.
If that was
Right? Because
yeah.
there's shit like there's shit like that could potentially be more real. Like you can only actually land on the moon. Every other planet has some other fucked up reason why you can't go to it. There's
Hey.
gases, or it's too fucking hot, or there's storms all the
It's
time.
entirely possible that we'll get the proper device to go further down that will actually identify and find that there's a species living in the oceans. And because we meet them head on and have a good chat, they'll come up with us.
That'd be cool.
Maybe that's where the aliens are coming from.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
What movie am I stealing that from again? The name has popped out of the brain, but of course. But
The Abyss.
yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
I
The
love that
Abyss.
movie.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why aliens look the way they do. Maybe they have gills.
Yeah.
Maybe these crazy.
How do you know what an
Flying-
alien looks like? I've never seen one.
You've never seen one?
Oh,
I mean, I've seen pictures online.
there's this
That's
movie
too
called
bad.
E.T.
Oh,
So
that's
Yeah.
the quintessential. Yeah, duh.
God.
You know, I find amusing. I try to watch E.T. with my children. This is going back a couple of years. Yeah, they were not
Not even?
interested, didn't care, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah,
My
Wow.
wife is deathly afraid of ET.
Oh boy.
I think we've talked about this, haven't we? I think we have.
She is terrified of ET.
I don't blame her. I was terrified of that when I was a kid. That scene with Elliot in the quarantine, and
Oh yeah.
holy shit, like that scared the hell out of me.
I never felt that way about that. That movie made me feel sad because
yeah.
I loved
Happy
it.
sad.
I always thought ET was pretty cute.
Yeah, it made me happy, sad. That happy because he got out there, got away, but sad because your buddy's leaving.
Not
Oh,
to
it
be
was
that guy.
It was the whole dying part that made me sad.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
that
When he was
really-
all like,
Oh, that part too.
when he
Gotcha.
looked like he was rolled in
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
sugar, powdered sugar.
About what it was.
Oh boy.
Looked like a giant,
Your mind, I
a
tell
giant toffee man rolled in sugar with a ham-shaped
Wow.
head.
you. Wow.
ET.
And we're back on the science fiction.
Yep.
Okay, well, do we think that like interstellar travel is ever going to be a thing? Warp speed, traveling the speeds
Well,
of light.
the
if
theory's
not faster?
there. The theories are there. Whether they're, I don't know. I think we have enough ingenuity that we could try and figure it out. But whether we actually do or not, I don't know. Even the smartest minds know that rockets are the way to go right now because we've not figured out a way to propel our devices any.
Well, and the big thing,
Best
my understanding, I'm not an expert. The big thing for the rockets is just getting away
Yeah.
from the planet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all the damn gravity.
Yeah.
Fucking gravity.
Yeah, gravity, atmospheres,
Atmosphere.
air.
Damn it.
But anyway, to your point, like I truly don't know. It's one of
Yeah, I
those
don't know.
things. Like,
Well, where do you get dilithium crystals?
From dilithium, of course.
yeah.
From dilithium.
It's actually funny. I was just recently watching one of those shows on Netflix where they do the 20 minutes talking about random things. It was talking about time, and they actually had one of the astronauts on there talking about how he was 9 seconds or 0.09 seconds younger because he spent time in space, and time was different based on the speed and positioning.
right.
He had an explanation.
Because
Watch
I
it yourself.
guess
That's
ti-
legit.
yeah, time relative to
Yeah.
Earth time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just it. And that's the other thing. Yeah, it's just the relativity thing. But that he was technically 0.9 seconds or something. Yeah, like 90 microseconds, something
Yeah.
like this.
I think I think it depends on how far you go out.
Yeah, how far
Mm.
up? Yeah.
Because I think what is it, Jupiter or Pluto, the non-planet, right?
Hmm.
One of those two hasn't even made a rotation around the sun yet. Like it hasn't even been a day,
Hmm.
Interesting.
Oh, that's
I guess,
interesting.
since we've been exploring it or something like that.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. No, I'm
I didn't know
curious.
that
Okay,
either.
Yeah, so like
I'm gonna Google it.
you look at the Milky Way and the galaxy, you got your
Yeah.
sun, and then all the expanding rings go further and further. So, yeah,
It's so far that it hasn't got the
it
full.
hasn't
Yeah,
gotten.
interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and that's the perspective thing. Because we were somewhat joking about it, but that idea of space travel, if you could do something near light speed, then that means, and I can't. There it is again. I'm stealing from a novel. It wasn't fiction shit, but that concept of for you time is slow, but for everybody else it's normal.
Yeah.
So for you it's been a year travel.
That's definitely a trope in a lot of.
Yeah, for you it's been that year, but for everybody else it's been 2 years. Things of this nature.
Right. Yeah. I want to believe that we're going to figure it out, interstellar travel, but I have no idea. We're still too young and primitive. Like
Oh
we're
God,
just-
yeah.
we're not close. But the fact that we're even in this young and primitive state, like figuring out how to send people just to hang out in space is fucking awesome. And the fact that we're even talking about the idea of colonizing Mars, like it's not even just talking, like they're conceptualizing the idea. They actually have.
Yeah, they lock people away or something.
Yeah, like
They-
that's
they-
a real.
they make-
That's
They make,
crazy.
they make concept cars too. It doesn't mean they're gonna make the car.
That's true, but and I'm not trying to be an Elon Musk fanboy, but they said the same thing about the Tesla cars. They're like, no one's going to pay for this.
I am
And
an
now it's-
Elon Musk fanboy.
I am. Actually,
So
I
just-
love you. I think he's like our closest example to Tony Stark. Like he really is.
I like Elon Musk because of
Yeah.
kind of what he stands for in a way. I mean, he is a businessman. He's got to make money somehow, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's not a douche about it.
No, he's not. He's
He's
not making.
open. He's fair.
He's already talked about it. He doesn't make money to become rich. He makes money so he can try to figure out
To make
problems.
more shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. Like, you look at the Hyperloop tunnel, you look at the electric car, you look at.
Mhm.
Well, I guess the flamethrower was the one kind of. Sorry,
But he's allowed to have a hand.
for sure,
right?
for sure. But the thing is, I think a lot of people said the same thing when Tesla was really releasing the Model S, and they're becoming this, automobile slash
Mhm.
whatever you want to call company. And yeah, no one bought it. But now they're like
Lineups.
the number one auto.
Actually,
thing
totally off that
in the
topic.
world?
I wonder if they're having a lot of the similar challenges that every car maker's having in trying to get the actual materials required to do that type of electronic.
They are. He's in fact, I was reading something that they are researching other ways to mine
Alternative.
lithium
Yeah.
because it's such a it's just
It's also silicone too. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a few even just getting normal chips and shit,
Yeah.
things that used to be, easy to get now. Challenge.
and environmentally it's bad too, right? Like
Yep.
the way we treat those materials, but they are trying to develop ways to do that much more safely.
Yeah.
And much
And this is
more-
one thing I love about humanity. We happily, would throw out, didn't matter what the electronic was, 10 years ago. Now it's, try to keep. And of course, yes, because it's still expensive and rare, we'll find alternative.
Yeah, we'll find an alternative. That's how we act. That's how we
Yeah,
operate.
that's how you get it
Exactly.
going.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the fact that in the 40s and 50s, people were like, there's no way we're ever gonna go to the moon, and then we went to the moon, and then people were like, there's no way we're gonna ever go to Mars, and then we're now figuring out how to go to Mars. I think we probably will come to spacefaring travel as a just a
someday.
thing
I'm in
one
the
day.
someday court.
I feel
Absolutely.
like it should have happened sooner.
Yeah, I wish it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell,
Well,
I watched
considering-
Back to the Future. And,
Considering how
Yeah.
how quickly things happen from the beginnings of trying to figure out to getting to the moon.
Yeah.
You figure after you got to the moon, you'd put more effort into how do we get to the closest, not
Sure.
necessarily habitable planet, but the next closest planet where we can have humans in big puffy suits
yeah.
walk around for a couple minutes and
It's 'cause
get
we're
back on a
human.
fucking
It is 'cause
lander.
we're human.
No, it's because we're human. We got to the moon because it was Russia and the States trying to show one another up.
Mhm.
If Mars, I'll pick the next one, actually had something that we knew for sure of super value.
We'd be up there.
Oh, yeah.
Not even a
We'd
question.
Oh,
be
see,
there.
I'm thinking like, why not?
Well,
Right?
well,
Or
here's the
just
thing.
why not? You went to the moon. Now go to the next one that you can.
I wish it worked
set
that
foot
way,
on.
but yeah, I understand to a certain extent why, from a government perspective, that was enough of a kick to get us kind of there, and then it all fell down.
Yeah.
And you brought up the point earlier, why use that money to do this when we could use that money to actually help society? But then people with monies decided, hey, I'm going to try and do this and make money. I'm going to try and make
Mhm.
a market out of this. And
Absolutely.
that's where now we're in that phase.
Now,
Capitalism.
I know, I love it.
I know we're never going to be away from it, so I just love it.
Except
From a
the
technological,
overlords.
exactly. From a technological standpoint, think of this. Put this in perspective. We've advanced more in this last 100 years than in the last 2,000, 10,000 years of our
Oh
existence.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There's still people
substantially.
alive who knew what it was like to not have, like we were saying the other day,
Right.
TVs and
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the reason why too, is because we just haven't caught up to that. We could have the thoughts and ideas, but until life and everything else catches up to that, it doesn't mean anything.
It's entirely possible. 10 years from now, we'll look back on this episode going, we're dumbasses.
We are
Like, shit,
dumbasses.
now we're sitting here playing badminton in Mars.
Exactly.
now we
You don't know for sure.
Well,
Years.
okay, consider this for a moment. How often does it take for us to send a rocket up? Like once every few years or something like that?
Through the Spacey program?
Through NASA and stuff. Like
Well, NASA doesn't send anything, is my understanding. They actually
Too
work
damn
with other
long.
countries and everything.
yeah, like,
Okay.
that's why you got to go to like Kazakhstan.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm asking is how often do we send people up?
Quite often nowadays, is my understanding. We've done a couple of the,
To the Spacey to the Spacey
SpaceX,
station.
Okay.
Space
Well, that's what I'm
Station.
saying because
Yeah.
we've had 2 commercial space flights civilian space flights.
Yeah.
Inside less than a year,
Yes.
right? September and then what was it? February,
And there's the
Bezos
one
crew.
coming up.
and the other one coming up.
Yeah.
So
which is
already we're ramping up commercial space flight. Like people are going into space
Oh, okay,
more
fair,
readily.
fair.
So like you might be right. Maybe 10 years from now, it's not that big of a thing. Maybe people are playing badminton on the ISS or whatever, right? Like I could see, like the more and more people that do it, more and more opportunities for other people to do it. And I think it's.
I just want to play badminton with no gravity.
I know. I want to play soccer with no gravity.
Ooh, that could be
That
fun.
would be really
I want
fun.
to play drums with no gravity.
Ooh, that would be good
That
too.
would be really
hard.
whoa, 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 whoa! I don't know if that's why you
Yeah,
slow. I don't know. But
Technically, you should be able to move easier because there's no
Would be,
gravity.
yeah.
But I wonder because if there's no gravity or atmosphere, how the vibration of the
Well, you need atmosphere.
because
Or
you
we'd
need
be dead.
air.
Yeah, we
That's
need
right,
air.
Yeah.
So we'd be in the space station with the air, but no gravity.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
That
Air.
That might
I
work
put,
then.
I put air as number one.
I don't
That
know.
would
I don't know
be-
if you need gravity to make sound, but you definitely need air to make sound.
I don't think you need gravity, but yeah, you definitely need air.
You would get a different sound though. I think.
Probably.
Yeah, because gravity's responsibility for the falling. So yeah, I think you would definitely get a.
Well, it's
weird-
the style. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're so probably used to that fall aspect when you're.
Fighting gravity, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Eh,
I don't
Or
know if this
working with
makes
gravity.
one of the crew members on Inspiration 4 brought his ukulele. It didn't sound any different. Like it sounded like
That's
he just
pronounced ukulele.
ukulele.
Fucking-
But drums are different, right? Like it's a whole different
yeah.
process. So I
Yeah.
want to hear what drums sound like on the fucking space
I
station.
want to
Shit.
record an album underwater.
Yeah, with like scuba gear or
No, just like underwater.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
In like one of those underwater, they have them there, like hotels.
Oh yeah, I've
You
seen
can,
them.
like, No, I was thinking like Metalocalypse.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
nice. That'd be fun. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Recorded on liquid.
Nice.
So back to work. I do think we're gonna get there one day. I think it's.
I think we'll get there too.
I think we will. You may say all you want.
And as I said, I will happily buy you a beer.
I'm thinking we'll invent interstellar travel first, and then find another place.
Nah,
Be
I
like,
think we're
fuck
going.
you, Mars.
I disagree. I think we're going to Mars first.
This is Earth too. Fuck you.
There's already like a crew lined up. They're booking people to go, and they're expected to live
They've
out
been
their days.
booking people to go since
Wow,
the
this
fucking.
Yeah.
I saw some dude at Comic or Fan Expo in Toronto like 8 years ago, and he's like, "I'm going to Mars."
One day.
I'm
it's
on
going.
the
I bought a
list.
star
I'm going
when
to
I was a
Mars."
kid.
Pardon?
I bought a star when I was a kid.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Oh.
for like $5.
Do you still own it?
I lost the paper
You
in the
bought
picture.
light.
How is it you can own, like that's the thing I've seen that too, like, oh, adopt a star or adopt this. It's like how, like it's like owning a pet rock.
So
It's almost more depressing because most of the stars that we see are already burnt out.
They're already burned out. They're dead.
You're just buying light.
yes.
Yeah.
Again, I paid $5 for this thing. Again, I was like 8 years old, so I guess actually $5 back then is like $500 now. But still,
That's besides the point. Yeah.
I think I actually bought it part of the book clubby thing. What was that thing called? That would come in once.
Oh, what's it called?
Scholastic booky thing, yeah. And they'd
The
set up in the
book fair,
library.
whatever they
Yeah,
call it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think I bought it during a book fair.
Nice. That's cool. I probably would have done the same thing. That never happened. Think about that. The fact that we now have people that are literally trying to invent lightsabers. We have tricorders in our pocket.
Okay, we need to stop for a moment. Stop space travel. Let's get this lightsaber thing done.
It's happened. You seen it?
Actual true?
It's a proto saber. But yeah, I'll show it to you after we're done. this
Okay,
thing.
okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
hacksmith did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the fucking shit, dude.
These
And these
dudes
guys are also trying to create hoverboards too. Like,
I will second the hoverboard.
oh, and they're from Kitchener. Like
Yeah.
they're local boys.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
awesome.
I want to, yeah.
I'll show you the
Say-
stuff. actually.
links and stuffs.
It's true. Like what was the phrase? The meek has inherited the earth. That's exactly what's happened. And the meek just happen to be the nerdy. The meek just are sci-fi nerds that are trying to make this shit as awesome as can.
I think the Matrix is gonna happen before fucking living on Mars.
Oh, yeah, it's coming out in December, isn't it?
Oh.
No,
Or unless we're already in the Matrix and going to Mars is just part
It's
of the
the Matrix
simulation.
and the
you're in the
Matrix.
Matrix, and
I am
I'm
the
not
Matrix.
in the Matrix,
Whoa,
and we're talking in virtual reality.
this is blowing my mind.
Yeah, I'm actually a cow, and,
Oh, okay.
and we've taken over
Oh,
the earth.
You evolved to that point finally, eh?
You've eaten us for the past 1,000 years.
Oh, shit.
Moo.
Oh my god. Oh. Actually, funny side story. Jackson, our dog, we're probably going to be getting him neutered soon, and all I could think about is that Rick and Morty episode with the dog, like, and how cruel it is.
Where are my balls, Jerry?
Where are my balls, Jerry? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take your balls.
you
It's like,
ready?
oh, jeez. Yeah. Anyways, that's
You should watch Rick and Morty. It's very educational.
I have seen the odd
It's a
episode.
very educational show.
Yeah.
so educational.
Yeah.
Learning so much from that show. For sure.
Yeah. Space travel.
Space travel. Yeah. Yeah.
Interdimensional travel.
yes. Yes.
Mm.
And
Nice.
what's the curve? The I can't remember the name of it. The something curve. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Horizon?
No. There's you got to watch Rick and Morty. It makes sense. Yeah, and I'm clearly bastardizing it. So
Fair.
yeah,
Horrible person.
I am a horrible person.
On that
one
note,
day, hopefully, one
Yeah.
day, hopefully I'll be a person.
I don't know.
horrible person.
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical about people actually existing on Mars.
You got to watch this documentary. I'm telling you, man.
But
It
you
might
wouldn't be.
change your
You'd have to.
perspective.
If you go, you go.
Yeah.
Because doesn't it take like a gajillion months to get
No,
there?
I think it's like a 3-year trip to get to Mars.
Yeah, 3 fucking years.
Yeah, no one's saying it's not a long time, and no one's saying that you might not live to see your next of kin. Everybody's
And
aware, and it
nobody's-
sucks.
And nobody's gonna. You'd have to. It would have to be like a ship the size of what they say like the Enterprise is or something, because
not
you would have to
necessarily.
live on it. It would have to be like a space cruise ship.
It does have to be large. It has to
Yeah.
be something relatively
flying space
self-sustaining,
hotel.
right? Because it's no different than Earth. It's and this again is my understanding, but it's no real different than Earth. You need to within the ship. This is true. Have a source of power, probably nuclear. Have your water. You make sure that you keep your water cycling. So there is purifiers. Yes, you're drinking your pee, but guess what? Even in real world, you're drinking other people's pee.
yeah. We all share the water on this earth.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
The water has
pee?
stayed
Yeah.
constant.
I've never seen Waterworld.
A good version of that is the Mars
No.
one where they have their Mars thing and they
Oh.
think he's dead and all that.
Yeah.
The
Mission
Martian.
to Mars. Oh, the Martian. Yeah, it was the Martian.
Is that what
I
it's
think it was
called?
Matt Damon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matt Damon.
The
Well, and
Martian.
it was a good novel too, but to me it was a good example, sort of, because again, there's also just the whole he blasts off and yeah, they catch him and shit. But just that concept of we're at that level where yeah, we're going to Mars, and he actually, he plants the garden. He gets
Oh, but
that
I'm
shit going.
I'm not talking about living on Mars. I'm talking about the
The
trip.
journey. Yeah.
Oh, the journey would be
You'd have
boring.
to. You'd have to literally have a vessel that was like space apartments.
Mm.
If you're gonna live on it for 3 years,
Yeah, no, you'd have to
You'd
have
have to have something.
sections.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
you think more, and again,
it'd be like that. It'd be like that ship in the Fifth Element that they go to.
yeah, where you get the little
It's
corners.
Flossed in Paradise.
It's it's like a
It'd be like
sub.
Flossed in Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sub. Right? Like, and again, that's where you get the right type of people. Would I
Right.
be able to do truly a 3-year trip in a sub style spaceship to get to Mars? No. I'd go
No,
crazy.
I don't think
personally.
I could do that. But
No.
like once they refined it and they made it so it was like, I don't know, a year, and it was a little bit better, I might be able to. figure that
And
out.
again,
But I,
will,
think the problem with that is having to go faster, and I don't know if they figured out how to go faster in space.
I
Yeah,
don't
still
think
working on that.
we have yet.
You know what I'm
still
saying?
working
Because
on that,
there's
yeah.
there's nothing to like. There's no atmosphere to push against with rockets.
Right.
Rockets. If you fart out the window of your rocket, you're going that way now,
Yeah.
right? Like every minute.
Yeah, push or
Push or
power,
pull
yeah,
or
Will
whatever.
move you, yeah.
Because I was learning about that space telescope, the James Webb Space Telescope, and they have to account for, because of the way it's tilted,
Mm.
the bottom of it is facing the sun, and there's actually pressure that and the guy said it's like a micro amount of pressure that comes from the like radiation
Mhm.
and whatnot off
Mm.
of the sun, but even that micro amount is going to throw something off course.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow, that is interesting.
So
Well-
yeah, I think that's why they've sent rovers and shit like that, obviously, because you can lose those.
Yeah, they're expensive, but
They're
not-
expensive but expendable.
but not as exactly
Yeah, it's
expensive.
not a
Exactly,
human.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fair.
right.
Right.
So
Oh, that's fair.
I don't know. I don't know if the technology even exists to shorten a trip like that.
I don't know either.
I don't know either. But that's for smarter people to figure out, not us. We're here to do podcasts about space.
But we could be smart.
We are smart.
We could figure it out.
We're SMRT smart. But no, we are smart. We could figure such things out.
I can cook macaroni.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a calculator.
It's just
on
the
my phone.
cheese is hard.
it's true. I can wipe my own ass.
Really?
Well, like it takes a few wipes, but I can do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
for
nice.
Sure.
I often have issues.
It's not like
No. No. Bad, Chris.
what? I don't know how to do it.
Bad.
I don't have any spell or
Where's the
anything.
paper?
No. You.
Okay, all right.
Bad boys. Yucky. Yucky, yucky, yucky.
How dare we talk
We're
about
talking
Yeah.
about
poop.
space, not space poop.
Although I do wonder about pooping in space.
Yeah.
Like, does it feel as
It's in
good
like
as
a
it does here?
Vacuum.
It
You
is
put a
a vacuum.
vacuum on your butt
That's right.
and you just suck it out.
You just want to be the first guy on that thing. You know what I mean? You don't want to be
Right.
the second or
No
third.
kidding.
you
I've
know?
been invited to a type of spacesuit that where you need to shit in your spacesuit. It's okay. You just push the button and
It won't. God, see ya.
So that would mean there'd have to be like some sort of seal
Just hope to God you're not tucking back
that
that
like
day.
kind of comes up and like up here. Now we're talking about how to poop in a spacesuit. Why, you guys?
It's the space episode.
It's never gonna happen.
I bet you it has happened
I
even in real life.
guarantee-
Well, I'm
Guaranteed
sure
it's
that
happened.
people have pooped in their spacesuit, but it hasn't been evacuated as we're talking about, where you just open a little door on your butt. And just,
Probably not.
Probably
'cause
not yet.
space is a vacuum.
Not yet, but one day. Not yet.
No, it's not gonna happen. That'll happen when we live on Mars. That's how we're gonna have to poop.
It's just through
We
vacuums.
can't go inside. It'd be like
have
pooping
a-
inside an RV.
So we won't
Yeah.
have like a plumbing.
You can't poop inside an RV.
That's right. So we won't have a plumbing system. We'll have a vacuum system to take care of our waste.
I can just picture that. Yeah, the whole thing about Mars encampment. Every so often, it needs an oxygen deployment. And why? Because, yeah, washrooms. Fuck.
Whoa, that smell.
And
Whoa.
you're right. I've never thought of it that way.
Sure. Yeah.
Space poop.
Space food.
Not
And-
just the space
And then
poop.
the atmosphere will just be full of turds.
I bet you that's the hidden
around.
story from astronauts they never share.
That's probably not. Yeah.
They get up there, they get into the spacey station, they're like, oh my God.
Actually,
And they're like, you'll get used
They
to it.
do talk about it in the documentary, having to go pee. So there's
But
a little
what
bit
if
of
you
conversation
miss?
about that.
Like if you're, what if you,
You're
you
right.
don't get it in the little
Way
vacuum
harder to
hose.
contain.
God damn it, Dave.
Oh, what if you have diarrhea? Oh no! It's like-
I'm sure they actually have that figured out in some manner.
I hope so.
Yeah,
It's called fiber.
That'll help.
Gives it bran muffins.
They're all on Metamucil. You think it's Tang? No,
Just
it's
like-
not Tang. It's fucking Metamucil.
So just so you know, your entire diet consists of bran muffins and Metamucil. That's
Yeah.
that's what you got.
And apples.
And apples. And apples. Sure goes down. Okay. That's great. Yeah.
Okay.
No
wow.
no prunes.
No
no
prunes.
prunes.
Do not.
You don't need the prune. Yeah. Okay.
Some asshole sneaks a prune on the on ship. Like you off the ship. Off the ship.
They just kick them out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I for one am very excited for where we're headed for space travel, space poop and all. So
I'm going to research the space poop a little bit more.
I think I am too.
I've never really thought of really that much.
I saw on the YouTubies they did like a tour of the ISS or whatever. Like one of the questions was, how do you go to the bathroom? And it's literally this vacuum sort of thing that you put on your no parts, and
At that point, it'd be a
Yeah.
yes part. But go on.
Mhm.
and yeah, you poop.
And you pee,
Yeah,
and
there
you
you
do your thing.
You pee in a hose and you poop
Yeah.
in a thing that looks like kind of like an airplane toilet.
So kind of like rich people's toilets.
You ever seen that episode of The Big Bang Theory where he builds a
No.
space toilet?
No.
Yeah, not like that at all.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's good to
Nice.
know. That's good to know. Yeah. Anything else we want to comment on our current development of space and stuff?
No, but if anybody wants us to speak properly about space travel, give us a call. We'll do a
You know our
proper
socials?
research,
Yeah.
and we'll come on up, even if it's the 10-second flight. I'll
I'll
Yeah,
do it.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm not going to balk at that. If
No,
you guys
no, no.
want to, you need
Oh, you
people.
can send me, but I'm not gonna pay for it.
No. We can't pay for it. That'd be improper for them for us to pay for it and then give a feedback.
We
on
could
it.
do the first podcast in space.
That would be
That
great.
would be kind of cool.
Space podcast.
Space
Maybe
cast.
the Spodcast.
Podcast. Yeah.
Space pod.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Spacecast.
Yeah, let's do sarcastic distractions for space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Really, that is a sequel.
Our tens of fans out there, why don't you sponsor us so
We're gonna start a
do an episode.
Patreon and a GoFundMe.
yeah,
And
Just send us to space.
Dave's gonna
To
start an
space.
OnlyFans.
yeah. Only Dave though.
Only Dave's.
He's the only one that's gonna make money. Only Dave's. Yeah, for
He's
sure.
gonna start his own website called Only Dave's, and it will only be dudes named
Dave.
Dave.
They're doing the exact same thing as OnlyFans, but just for guys named Dave.
No, that's disgusting. It'll just be random stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be like Dave puttering around the house with his mop and sweeping out.
I'm not really. I do sweep. I'm not really a mopper. I've never understood mopping floors. I've been a
It's
sweeper.
content, Dave, for Only Dave's.
Oh,
It's
okay.
fucking content.
You make
I just-
money.
I wouldn't-
People
yeah,
are not going to pay you to just watch you sweep.
No, they're gonna have to pay.
You
Watch
have
him
to
mop
fuck
too.
dishes.
It's got to get
sweeping?
wet too.
Fair.
Things have got to get wet.
This is fair.
It's Only Dave's.
Yeah, you never try to do
Oh
without
my
being wet.
God. Oh my god! Wow. So you're very skeptical on us going to Mars.
Yeah.
All right.
As like to colonize or something like that. I think maybe they'd send scientist peoples, but I don't know about living there
To start, to be scientists.
because they kind of already have sent scientist robots, right?
It's not
Them
the same.
Yeah.
rovers.
Similar, but
Yeah.
not the same. I hear you saying.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh.
I just don't think people would want to live on a planet where you couldn't go outside.
Well,
We do have to take some of that humanity into where you're gonna
absolutely.
get bored and
Right.
claustra,
Sure.
tight feeling.
It's gonna
That is
turn
fair.
into John Carpenter's The Thing,
Mm,
minus the
the thing.
thing.
Yeah.
or it could become the Total Recall. Could be that.
The good one.
Yeah, but
Yeah, of
people,
course it could win.
but
Yeah.
people still can't go outside.
It's true. Well,
But
actually,
they find the button.
they are working.
Okay.
They do find the button. That's right. They are working on trying to figure out how to create an atmosphere using the water.
That
That's
one
what
I
it is.
think is going to be
That's a long ways off.
A couple million years.
yeah,
maybe.
that's
That's-
a long
see,
ways off.
I don't know the way the shit's going. I don't know if the world's got a couple million years left in it.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Well-
But that's part of the reason why we got to get there, because we ain't taking care
So
of the
then
planet.
figure out interstellar travel first, and then find another planet somewhere that mimics
Earth 2.
exactly Earth the
Ooh,
sequel,
yeah, the
Earth Junior, the son of Earth.
the son of a.
It's not just a sequel though. It's like Earth remake. So they're
Yeah.
gonna make it better than the original.
Right.
Yeah,
But
as long
still
as
have-
it's a remake.
Still have the same familiar
Same
nostalgia.
familiar,
that we
but
remember,
it's
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Starring Chris Evans. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It was the
Earth
first
2.
one.
Will Smith and Jaden Smith.
Oh no!
Oh,
I mean,
Lord.
no.
No.
What was that?
God.
After Earth or some shit? Was that movie?
I think it was.
I can't
I
recall.
didn't
Well,
watch it.
Yeah.
Apparently it was terrible.
I'm sure it was.
Terrible movie. Terrible
I'm
movie.
sure it was.
Terrible.
Terrible. Just terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible movie. Not
Well-
enough robots.
Okay. Should we end it on this note?
I think so.
I think so. I think it's like we're good now. All right. So you and I agree. We're probably going to get to space or Mars much sooner than he thinks we are.
Yes.
Whether we're going to live there or not, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, that I don't know.
What do you know? Do you know anything about this? Do you care about space? Do you care about talking about space? Do you think we're a bunch of idiots talking about space?
Don't ask them that question.
Though we know that they do. We'd love to know your thoughts of space travel, where we're going, what we're doing, and all that good stuff. Did you guys watch the documentary for inspiration for? I'd be curious to know if you care. Share your thoughts. Would it be cool to go to space? Would it not be cool? Do you agree with us? Not agree with us? We want to know. Please share your thoughts in the comments. For anybody out there that are feeling mentally unwell, we just wanted to say that you matter, not just to us, but those around you, and it's important to talk to those around you so you can deal with what's going on in your head. So, if you can't talk to us, you can't talk to the people around you. We are going to leave a link in the description for you to seek help if you need it. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
Dave Shergold.
Ground control to Major AJ.
I'm sorry.
I'm AJ.
Well done. That was
Oh,
good.
dude.
That was a good call.
I think you just sent us to blast off, sir. And just like that, you're sarcastically distracted. Have a great night.
Take
Peace.
care. all.
Bye now.